everybody, it's Wi-Fi here. I'm waving. I'm coming to you from the reindeer outpost. Now I have to say a big thank you for all of the lovely comments and letters you've been sending. It's been great fun reading them. Now, we've got a bit of a surprise for you this week. Rather than hearing what we got up to last week at the North Pole, we're going to be telling you about one of the elves. How exciting is that? Now, Tinsel organised all the elves' names and put them in a big bowl and whizzed them all around, and we pulled out one lucky elf. So today, now you ready for this, everybody? Father Christmas is going to be telling us all about Tootle the elf. I can't wait. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Well, hello, dear children, and wonderful families and parents too. It's Father Christmas, talking to you from the snowy North Pole. Now today, I'm very excited to tell you about one of our tiniest elves, called Tootle. Now her name might make you think she's very tall, but she's actually one of the smallest elves here. What she doesn't have in size, she makes up for with a huge amount of bravery and a very big heart. Tootle is a very important elf on Christmas Eve. She helps me deliver presents to children all over the world. Imagine a little elf, not much taller than a pile of Christmas cookies, running around fast and full of energy, her eyes sparkling like bright stars. She loves solving problems and having adventures. Now, this reminds me of the time she climbed the tallest Christmas tree to save a magical star that got stuck. But you'll have to find out about that story another day. Tootle also loves to make magic in quieter ways. She once made a magical book with her friend Cinnamon Scribbleheart about a family of snow owls. As they wrote the book, the story started happening for real outside the workshop, which was a fun surprise for both of them. And old Tootle isn't just adventurous, she's the heart of every party too. She tells the best stories that make all the other elves gather round to listen. Her laughter and cheerfulness make everybody feel happy and excited to be together. Now, even though Tootle is usually very brave, she used to be afraid of heights, which, as you'd imagine, children, is quite a problem for someone who flies on the sleigh in the sky. But with the help of some of her friends, she faced her fears because she didn't want to let any child down on Christmas. Plus, she loves being on the sleigh with me as well. Now, Tootle has an even bigger dream. She hopes to join the elite Geese team, a group of brave elves who fly fast little sleighs to help keep my big sleigh flying on Christmas Eve. It just shows that she's always ready to try new things, no matter how scary they seem at first. So, I've told you a little bit about our little hero Tootle, but let's get ready for a story that I think I'm going to call The Tiny Fixer. It's all about how Tootle helped fix a big problem one Christmas Eve with her quick thinking and a lot of courage. Get ready for a magical adventure. So it was the calm before the Christmas rush. The North Pole was alive with festive energy, and Christmas Eve approached. Elves dashed between the workshops, their faces glowing with anticipation and cheer. Amidst the joyous chaos, Tootle was a whirlwind of activity around the grand sleigh, ensuring everything was in tip-top shape for the night ahead. She meticulously checked each reindeer's harness, adjusting them to be snug yet comfortable. Her and Sparkle chatted away as she did this. She polished the sleigh until it gleamed under the bright workshop lights. Her cheerful chat with the reindeer, asking, "Are you ready for the big night, Dasher?" and receiving enthusiastic snorts in response, ahead of smiles across everyone nearby. Her positive energy was infectious, lighting up the room and bolstering the spirits of all her fellow elves as they prepared for the big night. Now, as twilight enveloped the North Pole, Tootle and I embarked on the crucial test flight. The sleigh lifted off gracefully, slicing through the cold air with ease. But suddenly, a sharp jolt disrupted the smooth climb. and the sleigh began to sway all over the place, causing, me a moment of panic. "What in the world?" I exclaimed, gripping the reins tightly. Tootle acted swiftly, her instincts and training taking over as she diagnosed the problem in seconds. She dived under the dashboard, shouting, "Hold it steady," which was pretty tricky. Now, as she wrestled with the internal mechanisms, with expert hands, she quickly identified and fixed a loose gear. Her actions as precise as a clockmaker. "Try it now," she called out, her voice echoing with confidence. With a flick of the reins, the sleigh resumed its smooth flight, steadied by her capable repairs. She really was a little wonder that night. Now, once safely back on the ground, Tootle, ever diligent, didn't pause to celebrate. The real mission of delivering joy to children around the world was still ahead, and she was determined to ensure that no further issues would arise. She set to work with a will, her focus intense as she examined and re-examined each component of the sleigh's intricate machinery. Her meticulous attention to detail was a sight to behold. She adjusted cables, aligned gears, and applied magical lubricants. Her movements, practiced and precise. As she worked, other elves gathered, watching in admiration as Tootle demonstrated why she was considered one of the best mechanics at the North Pole. "All set for tonight," she declared proudly. I was very pleased to hear those words, wiping a smear of oil from her cheek with a grin that could outshine the northern lights. The next test flight was a resounding success. Of course it was, thanks to Tootle. The sleigh, now in perfect working order, responded beautifully to every command. We soared higher and faster, executing amazing maneuvers with ease, each movement a testament to Tootle's skill and her dedication. "Looks like we're ready for Christmas Eve," I shouted over the wind, my voice filled with pride and relief too. Tootle's eyes sparkled with excitement and pride, her earlier efforts paying off in the flawless performance of the sleigh. She knew, as I did, that her hard work would ensure a magical Christmas for all of you. So it was time to set off. Christmas Eve was here, the big night, and Tootle was a flurry of activity in the sleigh. As we zipped across the sky, she expertly managed and distributed the gifts. Her organization was impeccable. Her and the other elves on the sleigh worked tirelessly. Her joyful energy made our important task feel light, and her laughter mingled with the bells of the sleigh, creating a melody that rang through the crisp night air. Together, we delivered gifts and joy to all of you around the world. Tootle's efficiency ensuring no child was forgotten. So as the sun slowly rose and dawn came across the sky, signaling the end to our Christmas Eve journey, Tootle and I returned to the North Pole, our sleigh empty and our hearts full of joy. The elves gathered around, cheering and clapping for the success of our night. Tootle, with a modest smile, stepped off the sleigh, her eyes shining with the satisfaction of a job very well done. We gathered in the main hall of the workshop where the elves celebrated with hot cocoa and Christmas cookies. Tootle shared stories of our night's adventure, recounting each challenge and how we overcame it. Her enthusiasm was infectious, and everyone listened intently, laughing and gasping at just the right moments. It was clear that Tootle was not just a mechanic or a helper, she was a true hero of the North Pole. But Tootle also took this time to reflect on her experiences. She thought about the initial fear she felt when the sleigh first jolted out of control, and how transforming that fear into action had helped save Christmas. She realized that each little action, each quick decision, built up to make a big difference. Her confidence had grown far beyond her tiny height, and so had a resolve to take on even bigger challenges in the future. With the celebrations winding down, I took a moment to thank Tootle personally. Tootle, you've shown incredible bravery and intelligence tonight. The North Pole owes you a great deal, I said, placing a hand on her tiny shoulder. Tootle blushed slightly, but her eyes were firm with newfound confidence. Thank you, Father Christmas. I'm just happy I could help, and I'm ready for whatever comes next. As we looked ahead, Tootle expressed her interest in joining the elite Geese, eager to face a new adventure and learn even more. I nodded in agreement, knowing that Tootle's spirit and capabilities would make her a perfect fit for any challenge. I have no doubt you'll excel there too, I assured her, and her grin widened further. As Tootle mingled with the other elves, sharing hugs and receiving well-deserved pats on the back, it was clear she was admired and loved by all. Her story had become one of legend at the North Pole, a tale of how even the tiniest elf could achieve great things. So, dear children, I hope you found inspiration in Tootle's story. This tale teaches us that no matter our size or strength, our actions can have a huge impact, and the readiness to assist and tackle challenges head-on is a form of bravery. Now I leave you with 2 questions to ponder as always. Think about a time when you helped solve a problem. What did you learn from that experience about yourself and your abilities? And the second question, Tootle is always ready to lend a hand. What are some ways you can help out around your home or school, and how do you think your actions might inspire and help others? Well, thank you for joining me for this tale today, children, from the North Pole. Keep the spirit of Christmas and the joy of helping others in your heart all year round. And remember, like Tootle, you can make a big difference no matter how small you may feel. Until our next magical adventure, take care and keep believing in the magic within you.